This is one of those videos that you're like afraid to say it out loud, but you're going to anyway. Ooh, tonight we're having sweet chili and cabbage stir fry. I specifically chose this one for tonight because I actually don't have a ton of time. This one only takes 5 minutes to prep and 20 minutes to cook. That is one of my favorite things about HelloFresh, is having the ability to go on, pick from over 40 meals that they have each week, and know that I don't have to take the time to go to the grocery store and spend time choosing what I want. Fall is just around the corner, and I don't know about you guys, but I am so super busy during the fall time that I don't have time to worry about what to cook for dinner. I just want to be able to have it come right to my door and it's all taken care of. Thank you for coming to help me.
Thank you for asking.
Not that I need help because it's so easy, but I love cooking with you. Does your family seem like it's hungry all the time? Did you know that you can add snacks, sides, and more to your weekly HelloFresh order? Just simply shop HelloFresh Market and take your pick from a curated selection of over 100 add-on items. This coming fall, you have places to go and things to do, and standing in a checkout line is not one of them. You can head to HelloFresh.com and use my code 50acharmingabode to get 50% off plus free shipping.
This looks delicious.
Thank you.
And nutritious.
Thank you. There'll be a link down in the description box if you want to get 50% off and free shipping, so check it out. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video. So back in January, I put out a post talking about my health for the very first time. And you guys were so kind and so sweet. I get lots of messages asking me all the time about how I'm feeling, how I'm doing. I think it's only fair to update you guys because you guys have been some of my biggest supporters, biggest cheerleaders, and I'm so grateful. So quick little recap to catch you back up, just in case. I came on in January and I told you about how I have primary immune deficiency. And I talked all about how I knew I had something wrong my whole life and how I always got dismissed at the doctors. And we talked a lot about advocating for ourselves and that type of thing when we go to the doctors, no matter what they think of you, no matter if they're acting like you're a hypochondriac or just dismissing your symptoms. We talked all about how you just have to stand up for yourself and you have to keep pushing. Then we talked all about the fluke, about how I finally got to the doctor that I needed to, and we ran some blood tests that I'd never had done before. And lo and behold, I have no immune system. So I have low IgG, and I have something even more rare, which is not able to be fixed. It's called selective IgM deficiency. And that one, there is no treatment for. Just to give you a little background, your IgM is your first line of defense against like any kind of virus or foreign thing. That's what comes forward first. And then the IgG kicks in and takes over to help fight those viruses. Finally got through, got all my answers, and I started treatment. And it was rough at first. I started Gamunex-C. It is a weekly subcutaneous infusion that I give to myself. It takes me about 2 hours, and it is a 60 ml syringe of fluid that comes into my body that I just sit there for 2 hours and let it infuse. When I first began, I absolutely hated it. It was very difficult because I wasn't seeing any results. I still felt sick all the time. And so it really started making me feel depressed, defeated, like why am I even doing this? And I'm sure a lot of you guys have felt that way before, where you're like, is this even making a difference? But then I had some kind people reach out to me that actually have gone through this. Look, it chokes me up. I have no reason to be emotional, and I'm going to get emotional. This is so typical Leslie. And I'll explain more why I'm getting emotional in a moment. But I had the kindest people reach out to me and tell me, don't give up hope. It takes time. Almost 6 months later, it was about in my 5th month of doing it. Oh, guys. Oh, my goodness. I feel amazing. I have felt like I have never felt in my entire life. And that's what I meant at the beginning of the video. It's almost like you're scared to say it out loud because you're afraid the carpet's going to get pulled out from underneath of you and it's going to get taken away. I just saw my immunologist and we, made our whole game plan for the rest of the year. And I told her, I knew I felt really bad before. I had no idea how bad I actually felt until now. I feel so good. I've never felt like this. I have energy. My number one thing, I don't feel achy and I don't cough all the time anymore. I have coughed my entire life. Just this constant cough. And it was so annoying. Yeah, I cough here and there, but that's just natural. But no, I used to cough all the time to where I like drove my family crazy. So I'm so excited. And that's why I'm choked up, because it's happy tears. I never thought I would get to this place. I never thought I would feel this good. And I just pray every day that it continues to stay this way. And I'm so happy I didn't give up and I kept pushing. And I'm so happy with the place that I'm in today. Now, with that being said, we have our game plan. We're going to be coming here before long into fall and winter, and that is when I would get any and every illness possible. I always get the flu. I always now get the dreaded C virus. And just our game plan. The cool part is I now have an immune system that, even though I don't have IgM, which could allow me to get the illness, I now have something to fight it. So instead of, where everybody else would be sick for like 3 days and I was sick for 10, I hopefully can just be sick like a normal person and only be a number of days and not just take me down. And a lot of times when I would just get taken down from an illness, all that would do was invite another illness and then another illness, and I was just going back to back. And so, as you can imagine, that's really hard on your body and so exhausting, and no wonder I always felt so bad. One of the things we're really hoping that this Gamunex-C is doing is hopefully healing my sinuses. So I've had chronic sinus infection basically my entire life. Like when we do the like a CAT scan and look at my sinuses, they're very diseased. A lot of mucosal thickening just everywhere and very small, not a lot of room in there. And I do feel a difference, and I do think that's part of the reason I'm not coughing anymore, because I always had this constant post-nasal drip, and I don't have that anymore. And so fingers crossed that, it'll maybe start to heal that in there, or at least not let it continue to get worse and worse, because there was talk of surgery on the table to go in and kind of clear those out. And so hopefully we're not going to have to do anything like that. So basically, I hope that this is my last update video on my health, and that you guys can just assume, continuing forward, that I feel good, or that I just get an illness like a normal person does, not someone who is immunocompromised. And I wanted to share with you, if I don't do any more updates, if you're following along over on Instagram, you see me all the time. I did this past week have something random and weird happen where my face swelled up, and I have no idea why. I am a sensitive person. I had to be very strategic about like my skincare, my laundry detergent, all that kind of stuff. I do sometimes just have weird reactions to things, and there you go. But it didn't bring me down. I didn't feel bad. I just had a swollen face. We did check all my numbers, and they look so good. It looks so amazing to see my numbers on paper, like to see that all my IgG and all the subclasses and everything besides the IgM, which will never be in range, but all the rest, all in range. And it just is like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. Such a blessing. Thank you, Jesus. So my prayers have been answered. God is so good, and he just exceeds those prayers that you ask. And I will be forever and ever grateful. This is me, hopefully never doing an updated video again on my own health. But we'll be back next week with, of course, we're getting ready to start decorating for fall. We're really getting into it. I have so many fun, cute things. So we'll see you guys real soon. Bye-bye.